It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Foolish Show podcast. We live, coming at you once again. Let me see if I can. Hold on, folks. Get these little issues cleared up, and we're gonna rock and roll. Let me see what we got. Okay. We should be ready to rock and roll, folks. Our technical difficulties should be over. Now, let me fix a couple of things, and we're going to go in. This is the Foolish Show podcast, folks. We just getting started. We live streaming on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Don't be afraid to leave your comments in the live chat. Let me set everything up, folks, and we're going to go in. Tonight's topic: how do you like to be approached? Does the way somebody approach you, does it really matter? How much does it affect you, the way that somebody approaches you? They say the first impression is the last. But sometimes you can overlook that because there are situations where maybe somebody ain't coming at you correct, but y'all end up being cool, or lovers, or friends. So how does the way somebody approach you, how does that affect you? How much does that matter, the way somebody come at you? Whether they're trying to be your friend, your boyfriend, you understand? That's the way it goes. So what would you do if somebody approached you the wrong way? What if they didn't approach you like you wanted them to, but you really like that person? Would you overlook it, or would you hold it against them? Because, I guess it's all about not being rude and having manners. So when you approach somebody in a proper way, without being disrespectful, then it should be cool. Sometimes people can come at people in the wrong way or rub them the wrong way, and people will lash out on them, or should I say snap on them and go in on them. So how much does it affect you, the way somebody approach you? Ladies, does the way a man come at you, how much does that play a part in you talking to him? Is the approach very important? Fellas, if a woman come at you too aggressive, would you turn her down? I guess it depends on how she looks, right? Because a lot of people overlook things and they really attracted to that person and they really like that person. They'll let more things slide if you think the person is more attractive or not. That's just natural human things that we do. But you can rub somebody the wrong way by approaching them in the wrong way, being disrespectful, being rude, being offensive. Now, some people might tell you, hey, I'm just joking around. But you know, everybody don't joke the same. Some people will laugh at you and say, ha ha, that was funny. And they ain't gonna hold it against you. Some weak women, you might shoot your shot at, but maybe they might find it offensive. They might cuss you out and walk away. You might get other women that say, you so funny, you so crazy. It all depends on the person and the personality that we're talking about. Everybody don't have the same reactions because we all don't have the same personalities. We don't have the same mind and bodies. So everybody is going to act different. Nobody's going to act the same. So when you're dealing with approaching somebody, you always want to make that first impression a good impression. You want them to remember you by something good, not bad. You don't want to come off top rubbing people the wrong way. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Sometimes we can rub people the wrong way for how we come at them, how we treat them, how we talk to them, or your approach. Maybe your approach is just too strong. Maybe you need to tone it down. Everybody don't joke and play the same ways. You might think you joking and playing, but the people you're doing it to is serious. So now y'all on two different pages, and it might escalate to something that it don't need to be. So how do you feel about the way somebody approaches you? Does that really matter? Should it matter? Or is it very important? Is it very important on how somebody presents themselves to you, especially the first time? Because if somebody gives you the wrong impression, it might make you back off them and say, I don't want to know too much more about you because I don't like the way you came in. I don't like the way you approached me. I don't like the way your first conversation with me. So how much does that matter? Karen checking in, she says exactly. How much it should matter the way somebody approaches you. We got to remember that the first impression they say is the last. But then, sometimes you can get over that. Because you ever met somebody and cool with somebody, but when you first met them, you like, in the beginning, I ain't really like them. Because their first impression wasn't good. But as the situation worked itself out, y'all start becoming more cooler. See, sometimes that's the way life works. But we got to be careful of the first impression that we give people, because sometimes they taking it wrong with it. You could be saying, I'm playing, I'm just messing around, but they looking at you like, you weird. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to date you. So you don't want to offend people and rub people the wrong way where they don't want to associate with you before you even get the chance to really know you. Karen says it's very important, but sometimes people will apologize and come correct if they mess up the first impression. Absolutely. That's why I say in situations where some people ain't come at you right, but at the end of the day, y'all end up being cool. You look past that. It might have been a guy that flirted with you, and you didn't think it was cute. You thought it was kind of lame, but you still gave him a chance. Fellas, you might have had a woman that came at you the wrong way, and she might have said, come here, give me your number. Now, you might look at her like, what's wrong with her? Or you might like, you know what, I like that. I like a woman that go after what she wants, and you give her the number. That's why I said it all depends on who you're talking to. Because everybody don't react the same way. Everybody don't have the same reaction. The way you react to something might not be the way I react to it. I might think it's funny. You may not. But we got to be careful of the first impressions that we leave with people, because they will take it as the last. They might not want to know no more about you because in the beginning, you rubbed them the wrong way. And sometimes we could be closing doors on opportunities by doing that. That could have been the love of your life, but you blew it. That could have been somebody you could have did business with, but the way you approached them ran them away. So it's important to make your first impression a good impression, but it don't always work out like that. Sometimes you might meet somebody that y'all just instantly bump heads. Y'all just don't agree on nothing. You don't see eye to eye. Nothing wrong with that, because everybody got a right to their own opinion. Nobody has the last say so but God. So you got to agree to disagree and keep it moving. But don't be afraid to correct the problem. If you rub the person the wrong way, don't be too big to say, I'm sorry, my bad. And then explain to them, listen, I ain't mean it like that. This is what I meant. Maybe y'all can get on the same page. And they'll let that be water under the bridge. Some people don't hold on to stuff. Some people do. It all depends on who you're talking to and what kind of personality they have. Everybody don't react the same way. So you got to be careful with the first impression that you make on somebody. You don't want to offend them or off top make them not like you or have something against you. Especially when you like somebody and you're trying to really get to know them. You're trying to get closer to them, not push them away. So you don't want to say something so wild and crazy to make them look at you like, get away from me. No, I don't care what your name is. I don't care where you from. I don't care if you're single or not. Because once you rub somebody the wrong way, they don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. They'll tune you out. Or they'll get rude and let you have it and tell you where to go. Some people might do it more polite and say, please, can you please walk away from me? Then other people might tell you, get the hell away from me. Or even worse. But you don't want to rub people the wrong way. The first time you meet them, even if you're trying to holler at them or just be their friend, you're trying to get closer to somebody. That's the goal. You're not trying to push them away, right? So you got to watch what you say and how you do it. You don't want to come at somebody too aggressive either, where they're looking at you crazy. You want to be cool and cordial and try to do something to make them laugh. See, laughter is the key of getting somebody's attention. Fellas, if you're trying to holler at them, make them laugh. Ladies, if you like that dude, make them laugh. You rather them to laugh at you than to frown up at you or cut their eye at you or roll their eyes at you. You rather somebody be laughing than doing that other stuff. But when you're trying to get to know somebody, the first approach could stop you from doing a lot of stuff. It can stop you from getting in the door. Because you're just ringing the doorbell, but that don't mean you're going to walk through the door. Karen says, yeah, women love a good laugh. See, Karen agree with me, fellas. You want to start in, you want to slide on in. Hey, what's up, girl? Anybody tells you look like a bowl of fruit, then she starts smiling, then you work your way into a conversation. But you get their attention in a positive way. Don't come up too aggressive. Hey, come here. Hey, you got to talk to me, girl. Come here. Where you going? What's your name? They're going to run away from you. So your approach, it does matter. Now, it depends on who you're talking to. Because some people might get turned on by that. Oh, I like that. I like a man that act like that. It's just something about that. So, hey, some people do like that stuff. Some people want you to be aggressive. Want you to take control. Want you to come in real macho with a big ego. PRN, I don't want to mess up his name. PYN says definitely love a good laugh. We don't like all that extra stuff. That's what I'm saying. See, fellas, listen, I'm putting y'all up on game now. You hear what the ladies telling you in the chat. They don't like all that extra. Make them laugh. When you make people laugh, then they feel comfortable. Then they feel comfortable, they can relax. And then they'll start opening up to you. But the key thing when you're first meeting somebody, make them feel comfortable. Make them feel like they know you forever. If you can joke and laugh with somebody and carry on the conversation, after a while, they're going to be like, boy, I feel like I already knew you. Then you start building the chemistry. You see how that works? So tonight's topic, we're talking about, does the way somebody approaches you matters? Is the first impression very important? That's what we're talking about tonight. Because how would you want somebody to approach you? If they didn't know you, what's the best way somebody can get your attention? Now, a lot of times women don't like nobody yelling at them when we say, hey, girl, hey, sexy, hey, pretty, hey, babe, hey. Now, some of them do. Some of them go to smiling and think it's funny. That's why I tell you, it depends on who you're talking to. Because everybody ain't got the same personality, and everybody don't take things the same way. Some people might think it's funny. Some people might think it's cute. Other people might say, oh, that's lame. And you don't talk to me like that. You're not going to get my attention like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So for some people to approach, it really does matter. And some people, they can look past it. They might say, I ain't really like how you came at me, but you is cute though. I think you handsome. Somebody's approach, it can rub you the wrong way, but some people can look past it. Because we all have probably been cool with somebody in the beginning when you first met them. You wasn't really fond of them. You ain't too much care for them. Because there was something about them in that first impression that rubbed you the wrong way. It made you back off and say, I don't really want to get to know you even further because you don't show me something that I don't rock with. They might have said something offensive. They might have said something you don't like. So how would you want somebody to approach you? What is the proper way or the best way for somebody to approach you? Would you like somebody to be cordial? Would you want somebody to do something to make you laugh and get your attention? You want somebody to send you flowers and say it's from a secret admirer. Would you want them to jump in your inbox and say, hey, baby, listen, I think you're hot. I think you're fine. I want to get to know you. Would you rather for them to come at you on social media, send you a sweet gift message? How do you like to be approached? And does the approach matter? Can you overlook that if somebody did approach you in a way that you wasn't really a fan of, but you was able to overlook that, and you say, you know what, let me really get to know them. Because I don't think they really meant it in that way. Or maybe you tell yourself it ain't that serious. Can somebody's approach rub you the wrong way? Can you look past that? If somebody came at you sideways in the beginning, can you still be cool with them? Can you let bygones be bygones? Or would you hold it against them? Because in the beginning, you just ain't come at me right. Some people just say, you just ain't come at me right, and I don't want no dealings with you. Well, they have that right to do it. I mean, nobody can make them vibe with you or talk to you or date you. Everybody got a choice of what they want. So you have to take it for what it is. But all you can do is let them know that, hey, I didn't mean it in a certain way. I didn't mean it the way you think I mean it, and I apologize and I'm sorry if I offended you in any way. You want to try to clear that up and bridge the gap in the beginning. Picanic. I think that's what they say. I'm sorry if I'm messing up the name. Picanic. PYM, that's all I'm going to say, y'all. PYN says money, flowers, bouquet on my car hood when I come outside. Oh, okay. Y'all hear that, fellas? See, different ladies like different things. And it's the same thing for us fellas, you know, ladies. When you come at a fella the right way, he might take you serious. If you come too aggressive, then you might push him away. Because in the back of his mind, he might be like, man, she one of them crazy ones. She ain't gonna do nothing but bring me drama. I can see it already. If you're too aggressive. So you want to be cool and calm. Make him feel comfortable. Make him want to rock with you. Make him want to be in your company. Then it'll probably work out for you. But everybody ain't the same. So the way you approach different people, you're going to get different reactions. Some people might like it. Some people may don't. They might cut you out until you get away from me. And sometimes it ain't what you say, is how you say it. In the manner and the tone that you use it when you're talking to somebody. If you're talking to somebody and you're doing it in an aggressive way or derogatory way, of course they're going to take it in that way. And you're going to rub them the wrong way and they're going to be in their feelings. That's just point blank period. Y'all know when somebody just came at you, especially a person you don't know, if somebody just came and tapping at you that you don't know, it's going to rub you the wrong way. Because your first thing is, first of all, I don't even know you. That's the first thing going to pop in your head. I don't even know you like that. I don't know you like that. But you just be coming in and popping off on me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So the first impression, they say, is the most important because that's the one that's going to be in their mind. Melvini checking in. But that's what you have to keep in the back of your mind. The way you approach somebody, you don't want to rub them the wrong way to make them not like you, especially if you're trying to get close to them. So say or do something that's going to make them want to bring you closer. So if you make them laugh and you make them feel comfortable, they're like, okay, he or she is pretty cool. Let me go with the flow and go with the vibe and see what they're talking about. It makes you more curious. They want to know more about you. So what's the best and way somebody can approach you without you taking it the wrong way? Does the way a man approach you or the things he say, does that play a big factor in you giving him a chance or not? Fellas, the way a woman come at you and talk to you, how much does that play a factor in you dating them, making them your woman, taking them serious? Because different people like different things. Some people you can come at them a certain way and they're not going to get in their feelings. Others, they ain't going to take it like that. Let me give you an example. A dude can be like, hey B, come here. A female like, what the hell, who you talking to? Your mama, B, right? But then you can get another type of female, you be like, hey B. She be like, hey. Like, you a fine B. Okay, yeah, I am. What's your name? See, they not in their feelings because that's their language. So certain people might take games a certain way. Everybody ain't gonna react the same because we all different. But they say the first impression is the most important because that's the first time you ever been in that person's presence of you meeting them. So you want them to think about you in a good way. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? So everybody ain't gonna take everything a certain way. Certain women you can highlight a certain way. Hey, baby, come here. Okay. Another woman, hey, baby, come here. Oh, I ain't your baby, and I ain't coming nowhere. You come to me. You be a man. You see what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna give you the same reaction. Everybody is different. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So if you're watching right now, I want you to come in and chat. How do you want somebody to approach you? What is the proper way of somebody getting your attention? Would you rather them to be sneaky and quiet with it? Or would you like somebody to be rambunctious and loud and blow it up? Would you say that's too much? Or would you say it's not enough? How do you want somebody to approach you? If they're trying to date you or they're just trying to be your friend, they might just say, you know what? She looks cool. I want to be her homegirl. Hey girl, how you doing? They come having a conversation. Are you going to interact? Or are you going to be standoffish like, if you don't get away from me? See, it all depends on who you're talking to. We keep saying everybody ain't gonna react the same. What you like, your homegirls might not like that. Your mama and auntie might not like that. They might not like a woman to talk, a dude to talk to them a certain way. They might say, you gotta approach me like I'm a lady. The new generation might be saying, that's all fun. I don't care about all that. If he fine, I talk to him. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on who you're talking to or what their opinion is going to be. But it's always the correct way to be respectful. That's the first thing you do is always be respectful on your first impression because you don't know this person and you don't want to press no buttons because you never know who this person is. This person could be somebody that you can do business with in the future. This person could be maybe somebody that's going to have your kids one day. You don't know how life works itself out. You'll be surprised how things end up at the end. Because we don't never know the end of the story unless we're going through it. You have to live it first. So different outcomes happen, and that's all a part of life. So the way you approach people is very, 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 very important, because you don't want to plant a bad seed in a person's mind to make them not like you, and they don't even really know you like that. It's just the way you came off, it made them want to be standoffish and don't want to be close to you. They don't like your tone or the way your demeanor is, to where you don't really rub them the wrong way. They don't care to know anything about you. They don't care who you is or what you do. So the first impression, you want to make it your best, because that's the first thing they're going to remember. Even if you end up kicking it with that person, they're going to say, remember the first time you approached me, you was rude and you said this. I really wasn't going to pay you no attention. They probably going to always throw it back in your face if you ain't came at them the right way, if they felt you disrespectful. Karen says exactly, some guys are too closed off. So that's what I'm telling you, people. Nobody reacts the same. We all have our own attractions. We attracted to different people. What you attracted to, I might not like. What you like, I might not like. You might like a certain type of woman, or a certain type of body build, or a certain type of skin color. Might be the type of dude to say, I don't care about all that, as long as she got a good mind. She might be the type to say, I need a dude that's tall, dark, and handsome. Her friend might be like, just give me some kind of man that's stable. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, we don't like the same things. Everybody have their preference. But the first impression is important, because a lot of times that's what they're going to remember, how you came at it. When was the first time you approached them? What did you say? The first time you ever met me, what words came out of your mouth? Most people gonna always remember that. And they don't remember nothing else. They gonna remember the first time you ever stepped in. All right, folks, I should be back. The screen started acting up, but we ain't going nowhere. We still ticking. Let's get back to the live chat. Let's get back on it, y'all. But the first impression could be the one that people always remember you by. Because if you started off as an a-hole, all they gonna see in their mind and think in their mind every time they see you is they go that a-hole. You see what I'm saying? You don't want nobody to see you and they go to roll in their eyes, or everybody start going the opposite way. That means you don't rub it the wrong way, and they don't even want to be around you. They don't want to be associated with you. They don't want to be nowhere near you. So the first impression, we want to make it our best, especially if you don't really know that person. If you don't know that person well enough, you don't want to say something that's going to get under their skin to make them start not liking you when they ain't even really get a chance to really get to know you. Always try to be respectful, make people feel comfortable around you. Presence. You should be able to make everybody react the same way. Everybody don't think the same way. How you will react might not be how he or she will react. And you only know until you put on those positions and you have to react for yourself. But it's always about the way you approach. What is your intentions? Are you coming at them in a compatible way? Are you coming at them too aggressive? Are you being too demanding? Are you crossing the line to somebody that you don't really know? These are the things you gotta ask yourself when approaching somebody. Are you pushing it too far? Sometimes people overlook it and y'all end up being cool. Sometimes not. Some people can hold that against you forever. They said, I don't like you because the first time I met you, you just ain't sit with me right. What can you say? Because that's how you started out. That's how you came. You came over aggressive, or you came like a jerk. Now people don't even want to be associated with you. They don't want no part of you. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? So make the first impression that you meet somebody, make it your best, because you never know who that person is. It could be the judge sitting on the bench and you don't got in trouble, and he the one that got to sentence you. It could be the same one that can give you a ride home, but you rubbed them people the wrong way when y'all first met. Now they don't even look your way. Karen says, some men think they can use the same approach with every woman. All women are not the same. Absolutely. What work on one woman might not work on another. We gave some examples earlier. I might can say some slang words and she might be, I might say it to another woman, she might say, who are you talking to? You don't know me. Don't be talking to me like that. I ain't your homegirl. I ain't your babe. You don't know me. Who you think you are? Karen says, study the woman first, then approach. That's some good advice. Fella, sit back and peep her demeanor. See if she quiet and laid back. Now, if she hood and ghetto, maybe you can come at her with that hood and ghetto stuff, and y'all gonna click. If she loud and wild, then maybe you can come at her loud and wild. Hey, baby, come here now. Bring your phone behind here, girl. But if she's calm, cool, have that demeanor about herself, you know you gotta come at her a certain way and be respectful. You don't want to be too loud and rude and rambunctious. You don't want to be offensive. You don't want to do nothing to run them away. Especially when you're trying to get in the door. You don't want to mess up your opportunity before you even get it. Karen says, LOL. So different people, you can approach different ways. I might can wave at a woman and she be like, and blow me a kiss. I might wave at a woman and she might turn her head or stick up a middle finger. Everybody ain't gonna react the same. Ladies, you might see a dude and blow him a kiss and he might catch it. Be like, let me get your number with me. You might do that to another dude and he might turn his head. He might be already married. He might be happy. He got a woman. So you never know somebody's circumstances. But all you can do is respect it and keep it moving. You don't want to come out as rude and disrespectful on your first impression on somebody, because that stays in somebody's head. Even if you're able to still get to know that person, they probably gonna always put it in your face like, you know you was rude as hell, right? You know I ain't really supposed to talk to you, right? But I overlooked it. Think about it. Don't be afraid to be respected. That ain't gonna cost you no points. If anything, they're gonna give you some cool points if you come in cool and respectful. You don't want to rub people the wrong way where they don't even want to even have a conversation with you, because you already done cracked the ice where they don't want to be near you. They feel like you're rude. You ain't got no manners. So why would they want to get to know you? Why would they want to entertain and waste their time on somebody like you if you ain't coming at them the right way? If you're not giving them something to look forward to. Karen says they need to learn how to hold a conversation. We get turned off when a man gets our attention but has no real conversation. Ain't no talking or nothing. Once again, it depends on the person. Some people can talk your ears off. Some people more quiet. Their personality is more low key. Some people are shy. They ain't putting on the front. Some people are really shy. You have some people that can't really look you in the eyes. That's just their personality. So maybe you have to warm up or get that person warmed up a little bit, make them feel comfortable, and they'll start coming out their shell. Because maybe you more, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I can't even get the word, y'all, right now, but it's gonna cut to me. But you're not afraid to be more outspoken. Take more chances. Some people are more conservative and laid back. Some people like to sit back in their box and do their thing. Other people like to be out the box and do their thing. So it all depends on who you're talking to. Everybody don't have the same approach. Some people are able to have a conversation. Some people ain't. Some people never really had nobody to conversate with. So we expect everybody to know what love is and how to talk to somebody, but what if they never experienced it in their life? Maybe they never really had a real conversation. Maybe they really never vibe with the opposite sex. We assume that everybody did it in their life, but we don't know. And everybody ain't good at it. A lot of people ain't people. You know what I mean? Some people are people. The people is they can vibe with anybody. Other people is like, I just mind my business and stay in my lane. So if you're a people and you can vibe with people, then you make more friends. You're more ambitious. You got more ambition and you're able to make new friends and network. Some people, they ain't like that. Some people like, hey, you stay over there, I stay over here. I don't want you in my space. I don't want you in my circle. It just depends on who you're talking to. You have to read somebody's personality. Look at what kind of personality they got, then you see how you can approach them. If you think they're laid back and more fun, then make them laugh. If they're more serious, then you know you got to come at them with a serious approach. You got to come at them business-like. You see what I'm saying? See, everybody is different though. Everybody ain't gonna like the same things. It just depends on who you're talking to. Because the way you talk to one person might not be the way you can talk to another person. Because some things, it might not bother me. Some things, it might bother them. I might can call this chick, come here, you slack. I say that to another chick, I might get something thrown at me. I might get slapped. But the other women over there say, baby, I love when you call me that. I love when you talk to me that way. See, it doesn't work for everybody. You got to read the person and see what kind of personality they have to see how you're going to make your approach. You don't want to come at them the wrong way where they already don't want to vibe with you. The first impression, you want to make your best because that's going to stand out. They're going to remember that first time they had that conversation with you. That's going to be stuck in their mind. I was standing on this corner. I was in this mall. I was in this store when dude came up to me and said this, that. Man, I was mind my business, dog. And the female, she just rolled down her window and started saying this. Karen says, it's like fishing. You need the right bait. You need to know how to reel them in, follow through till you got it. Absolutely. See, Karen giving y'all game, fellas. Y'all ain't even paying for this tonight. Giving y'all free game. See, every bait don't work the same though. Everybody ain't gonna bite that worm, fellas. Sometimes you gotta throw some bread out there. Maybe you gotta put a shrimp on it to get them to bite. Everybody don't like the same things. But your first impression, it could be your last. But most important, your first impression, let it be your best. Let it stand out to where somebody's gonna remember you in a positive way, in a good way. Even if that's the first time and the last time they talk to you, they're gonna like, it was something about that person. The way they carry themselves, the way they articulate themselves when they approach me, that stands out to me. You'll be amazed how that stays in somebody's mind. You'll be amazed how the first time you approach somebody was the main thing that they remember about you. How you presented yourself. So your presentation says a lot, because you're presenting yourself to somebody that don't know you. You presented yourself that didn't know that you existed. So you want to present yourself in the right way and get their attention in the right way to make them want to say, "Ooh, who is this? I want to get to know them more. I like your vibe. I like your spirit. You seem like a fun person." That's the impression you want to give them, especially when it's your first time. If you're really trying to get close to that person, it's all about making them comfortable. The more somebody's feeling comfortable, then they'll let you in closer and closer. But if they ain't feeling too comfortable, they're going to keep you at a distance because they really can't trust you in their mind. So it's all about building up trust for them to feel comfortable around you. So your first approach, that means a lot. It carries some weight. Now, it might not be the last say, because it's a lot of times we can look past that. Somebody may not came at us the right way, but we still end up vibing and clicking and end up being friends or even dating. You might have met somebody, you feel like they was rude, the way they tried to holler at you, but you look past that. It all depends on who you're talking to. But don't be afraid. Even if you rub somebody the wrong way, to say, "I'm sorry," or "I didn't mean it." Be the bigger person. Try to bridge that gap. Because you never know when you're going to need somebody. That same person might be the same person you need a bottle of water from. That same person might be the same one that have to change you in the hospital because you can't change yourself. So you got to be careful on the kind of impression you leave when you're meeting people. That same person you might end up needing in the future. That same person you might need in the future. So you got to be careful of who you rub the wrong way, who you offend, who you make enemies with. You might be in the battle that you're going to lose and you can't win because you done burned your bridges. You done messed it up before it even happened. So you don't want to be that type of person to always rub people the wrong way where they don't even want to be around you. They don't want to have a conversation with you. They don't want to be in the same room with you. And they definitely don't want to go out with you. You don't want to be that type of person. So make sure when you're approaching anyone, you be respectful. You have good intentions. And you don't come at nobody in a negative way to make them feel uncomfortable. Because you won't want nobody coming in your space making you feel uncomfortable. It all goes back to the old saying, you treat people how you want to be treated. That goes back to the old folks. So the way you carry yourself and present yourself is how people are going to look at you. So if you want somebody to really pay you some attention and look at you in the right way, then you got to present yourself in the right way. Ladies, if you present yourself to a man in a certain way, don't get mad when he treats you like that. When the way you present yourself tells a lot. You go in the restaurant and the plate's dirty and the silverware is dirty, you really ain't gonna want to eat them because look at the way they done presented their services to you. Think about what I'm telling you. You're not gonna want to eat at that restaurant. So the way you present yourself goes a long way. And how you treat somebody goes a long way because you never know who you're gonna need at the end of the day. The same one you knock down could be the same one you need to help lift you up. Always keep that in mind. Never forget where you came from, where you at right now, and what it took to get there. Don't come at people the wrong way. You treat people how you want to be treated. It's all about respect. If you know you came at somebody respectfully and they took it the wrong way, then so be it. You know you ain't mean no harm. But it's all about just being respectful. The way you approach somebody, that'll go a long way. It'll go a long way of them liking you or not, or even want to associate with you or not. Because you can make somebody not want to deal with you just from the first time of them having a conversation with you. From you opening your mouth, they might be like, I don't want to talk to you no more. You're not my type of person. Because the way that you're presenting yourself, they're not feeling it. And you can't force it. You can't force nobody to be your friend. You can't force nobody to date you and get in bed with you. It's their choice. And you got to respect that person's mind. If that's how they feel, then you keep it moving. You keep it rolling. So if y'all just tuned in tonight, we live streaming on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Tonight's topic, how do you want to be approached? Doesn't matter the way somebody approaches you, especially if you don't know them. Can you look past that? If somebody came at you the wrong way, can you look past it and say, you know what, I think you're cool though. We could be friends, or we can hang out. Or is that first impression gonna clog up your brain and make you say, I don't want to know no more. You already done rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't want to know nothing else about you. Some people can look past it, some people can't. It all depends on who you're talking to. But we're gonna wind this thing on down, folks. We had another great positive podcast, man. Good vibes. Y'all know what we spread over here. This is the People Show. We talk about real life stuff. And anybody can relate to how you want to be approached. Some people want you to come with class and be respectful. Some people really, they don't care. As long as you come respectful, you can make them laugh. You can say outrageous things and they just gonna laugh at you. They're not gonna get in their feelings or take it to heart. So you gotta read the people that you're dealing with. Try to read the person and see what kind of person they is to know which way to come at, which way gonna get them mad, and which way gonna make them feel comfortable. It's all about making them feel comfortable. The more people feel comfortable around you, they want to be around you, they want to get to know you. So your first impression is the most important because that's what people are going to remember you by. The first time I ever met you, what happened? What did you say? How did you present yourself? But we're going to wind this thing on down, folks. I appreciate y'all. Let me put this code on the screen before I get out of here so y'all can go shopping. Right there on your screen, y'all scan it with your phone. The official reality music entertainment merchandise. We got new apparel, folks, new t-shirts. Y'all go check it out. New hoodies, new snapbacks. You name it, we got it. Go get you some joggers. We got workout gear. We got more merchandise for the house. Towels, blankets, sheets, socks. I told you, you name it, we got it. Use your phone right now if you watch it. Scan that code on the screen, and it will take you to our official reality music entertainment, and we got entertainment merchandise, and we have 30% off of all merchandise right now. So y'all better jump on it. Go jump on it right now. 30% off all merchandise. So grab you some t-shirts, some hoodies, some tights, ladies, whatever you need, we got it. Support the movement. But I appreciate y'all for checking in. Make sure y'all go rewatch all the previous episodes. Just go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you ain't already. Reality Music Entertainment. That's the movement. We're going to get bigger and bigger. That's what it's all about. Spreading good vibes, man. Just get on here and having grown folks talk. Nobody judges nobody. Everybody speak their mind. And feel free to speak how they feel. We just keep it respectful. As long as we ain't going at each other, we can listen to each other and disagree if we don't agree. Y'all gotta understand, we gotta learn to respect everybody's opinion. Everybody ain't gonna agree with everything you saying. Everybody ain't gonna like what you saying. Everybody ain't gonna listen to what you saying. But you gotta respect it. If everybody respected each other, then this world will be a better place. But I appreciate y'all time, man. Subscribe to that YouTube channel, Reality Music Entertainment. Y'all make sure y'all look me up. If you want to know more about me, just Google me. Type in Foolish Reality Music Entertainment. You can Google me. All my interviews will come up. Everything I got going on, all the magazine articles, all the blogs, all my music. If you want to follow me, just Google me. Foolish Reality Music Entertainment. Y'all have a great week, man. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay positive. One love, everybody.